Ready.
To late. No.
No, ladies.
No. No, it's not. No, wait. Of course. Welcome to our podcast where superheroes exist and combo talk is enormous. On with Bree and Keen, we are back to deliver 2 episodes. We're doubling up on the brand new animals for you guys today, BNA. Thank you for rocking with us. If you watched the last episode and continue to watch every episode that we do, because this is fun for us. BNA is not as fun as Kipo because I'm not dying all the time, but it is still fun. It still has its own its funny moments and its fun moments. Like Shirou just being a
Fucking
fucking beast,
ass.
right?
Fucking beast. Yes.
Right. Also an ass because what he does in I think the second episode that we'll be discussing was pretty assholish, right?
Yeah.
No, wait, no. First. Oh, wait, the second episode we're going to discuss in this.
second
Okay,
episode.
yeah, never mind.
No, I got
I'm
this.
still.
I got this.
My
okay?
bad. Okay, I had a migraine. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I may forget some important things sometimes, but you know,
We'll cut you off.
wow, I said thank you. I should have said thank you. Anyway, so BNA Brand New Animals episode
2.
Yes, see, like I be forgetting. Episode 2, I thought was really interesting in the sense that
Rabbit.
she might be a little anti Beastman in her own
She's
self.
fucked up.
Yeah,
I'm torn between thinking she's got some self-hatred going on versus she actually was a fucking human.
Yeah, and she's not understanding what happened to her.
Yeah.
no, I think it's not necessarily self hatred because she wasn't born Beastman. She was born human. I think there's a little anti Beastman inside of her, and then as a Beastman, she just happens to like I'm a Beastman now, but I still don't like Beastman, like because
I don't think that she doesn't like Beastmen. I think that she's indifferent because there's a scene in episode 3 that just kind of shows her indifference to like the plight of the Beastmen.
Or was it more so her acceptance of her plight?
I feel like she's definitely very conflicting.
She is.
Because she's like, oh, this is such a good place for Beastman. Like, I thought she was going there so she could be at peace. But then it turns out she wants to cure herself.
So,
yeah,
exactly.
Or her disease.
So
episode 1 kind of framed it. Was good that we did the one episode at first because it did frame it. It gave us a week to sit down with it. It framed it as if she was a Beastman that was running, escaping, and then at the end, it's like I used to be human. And then episode 2 shows us something very interesting because at the when the cops come to arrest the rogue Beastman, and Shirou transforms.
Mm-hmm.
into a human.
And he becomes a human, and he asks her like, "Why can't you, transform?" And she's like, "Well, I don't know. I was never able to do that." So what I think it's very interesting because again, the intro, if you ever saw the intro, it showed humans morphing into Beastmen, and I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. But the show just played it as if you just were a beast and just humanoid beast, or but they go back and forth. Like for Shirou, when he wants to do his investigation and when he wants to like use his powers, he turns into the wolf. And then when he just wants to move around every day, which is what I'm saying, like, why can't they just be human in the human world?
I don't know.
I'm still trying not to like jump forward, but in episode 3, I think maybe sometimes it's something that they can't control. Like it just.
Also, it would be like, what's it called? I have no idea what the main character's name is.
Michiru?
Michiru? Okay, Michiru was born a human, and I'm guessing the others were not. So even if they can pass, it's still on other identification cards that they're animals.
Ah, yeah.
And there's a test.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's some weird
blood, a nasal strip. Like, do y'all snore at night? Is that why you need the nasal strip? Like what?
Like there's like apparently she's like one of the onlys that was born human, and so she's like, what the fuck? Versus
episode 3, there's a flashback. But anyways,
I know, right?
Episode 2. Let's just focus real quick. Episode 2, she's Episode 2 was kind of sad for me because like the whole like
It was
even
depressing.
even in the Beastman worlds, women are still like
No, episode 2 was not fucked up for that. I mean, it was, but there was
it's fucked up. It's like even
There was
in
so much fucked up to go around.
basically episode 1
is
was like, Anima City is beautiful. And like, this is the paradise for animals. And I have to cry because it's just so beautiful. And then you get to episode 2, it's like, oh, you survival of the fittest. Like, if you ain't fit, you're gonna die. I don't give a fuck about that.
And like, she was coming to Anima City because she thought this is where I can come and I can fit in my beast form. And she finds out nobody does that shit. Like,
no one.
everybody walks around in their
turn.
human forms and she can't turn. And then later on in the episode, she also finds out like walking around in your beast form is like challenging to people.
Yes.
People think you're posturing, and so now they want to fight you, and all you're trying to do is like register your shit or just live your life.
Yeah, at the DMV or wherever that is, and it's like, and you see the young beast man, and you see the older guy, and he's like, "Nah, I was here." Like, and he's like, "Nah, you weren't." And then it's like, they transform. But I'm sorry, I really thought that thing about the women and the children was very sad. But then fuck them because they know what they were doing. Like it was just a lot of fucked up because even they gave her this whole sob story of, oh, we're women in the Beastman world and we are not respected and we're like the lowest.
It's like, yeah, but that don't mean you have to sell children.
Yo,
right.
Like,
and for what? I think it's not just like my mind went somewhere else. Like again, it's hard to watch these shows and not pull in the real world. So I went in, but I'm like, it's still a cartoon anime. Let's not go that far out. So,
but I mean, it's again, like I said with the last episode where I'm watching and I'm like, are they making these right now? Like, is this happening in real time? Because you got these little kids in cages. You have these high-powered men that are still like kind of coming around, like the guy that came to collect money.
I forget his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but like as soon as he stepped out of the car, the subtitles and the dub version, they said two different things. I forget what he said in the dub version, but the subtitles, and I wrote it down. He said, "This place stinks of bitches as always." I was just like,
I saw that.
Like, sir, these are women.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, isn't this like?
But you kind of get the feeling that this part of, so we've skipped way ahead. So, Shirou, the wolf, takes Kipo to see his peeps, and they're like, oh shit. I mean, she could be Kipo. Takes Michiru. I've been calling her Tanuki.
I just call her Tanuki. She's Tom Nook's sister.
And I think when she said wolf, it just like
Kipo right there. So yeah, Shirou the wolf. Number one, he tells Michiru that she's a Tanuki, and she gets mad and she's like, "I'm not a Tanuki, I'm a raccoon." And he's like, "No, you're a Tanuki because raccoons have stripes on their tails." And so I had to like Google Tanuki because
you ever play Animal Crossing?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, Tom Nook on Animal Crossing is a Tanuki.
So he's a Japanese raccoon dog.
Mm-hmm. Tanuki,
which I also now want one.
I feel like there's a reason why she doesn't want to be a Tanuki because like there's a stigma.
Because they're stupid and gullible. And
oh really? I didn't know.
I
know about that.
He says it.
The mink again. She's like, and she again in the same episode.
Oh, you the weasel! I'm a fucking mink.
I'm a mink.
And she gets shysted again. And what's her name? She goes. Marie goes. Well, because Tanukis are dumb.
No, it's not her. It's the she's
monkey.
Yeah, she's Michiru is standing in line because she has to register in Anima City. Right. And as she's standing in line, she sees this like sketchy looking dude and she's like, I feel like I know him from somewhere. And she sees him picking someone's pocket and she's like, it's that guy. Mm-hmm. So she chases after him, ends up in an alleyway with him. The mink shows up and like while she's talking to the mink, she turns around and the bastard is gone again, and he's like at the top of the building, and he's like, man, Tanukis really are stupid and gullible, and then he runs off. And so she's like looking at the mink like, bitch, you did it again. Like, again, you fleeced me. And she's like, no, I'm just trying to be nice. And because I'm a nice person, I'll let you know that all of the stolen items end up in, is it Rabbit Land?
Rabbit City?
Rabbit Town?
Rabbit Town. The place where the rabbits are? Yeah, did not write that down.
I think the name of the episode is Rabbit Town.
Yes. So it is Rabbit.
Yeah. So Michiru goes there to look for basically she's like a madam in the head of Rabbit Town, which is also interesting now that I think about it, because they, like the saying is, people do it like rabbits, and then all of these kids, rabbits have a whole bunch of babies, and so Rabbit Town, there's nothing but women and all of these like kids that basically got lost in the shuffle. Right. Yeah, so she gets to Rabbit Town, and this is when she learns that you're not supposed to walk around in animal form because people see that as a challenge. So when she walks in there and is like, excuse me, I'm trying to get my wallet back, and they're like, oh, bitch, you flexing? Like, this is what you're doing? You want to fight? And she's like, no, I just can't change back. And, they're like, oh, we're supposed to believe that dumb shit.
That bullshit.
And she's like, no, you have my wallet. Just look at my wallet. What? I feel like Mo is saying something, but he's paused in a very incredulous.
What do you want, Mo?
Wait, what? Am I still paused? Stop
No. It. No, you're not paused. You just stopped talking.
Oh, I just stopped talking. I was like,
what? Okay.
No, I think my problem is this entire episode. I just feel like don't really trust anyone, because she's been told not to really trust anyone, right?
And she's done it several times.
Human, I used to be human. Like, yo, relax.
Okay, but like that's the other thing where like I'm just like, are you a beastman or not? Because like, yes, she was born human, but she's always like, oh, why aren't beastmen like this and this and this? And then the next minute she's like, I'm a fucking human.
Yeah, well, I guess she thought shit was gonna be sweet until, so at least until we can figure out what's happening with my disease and cure it, I can peacefully coexist in Anima City. And then once I get turned back into a human, peace out, suckers.
Basically.
Like, bye, losers. I'm going back to human land.
Also, I did fucking think, oh, that shit is cute when they were like, please teach our kids how to read and write.
It was adorable.
It was so fucking sweet. Even though she did it like the dumbest way possible.
But sorry. These are kids that can't read and or write, and you go.
She's like, what's this say?
Wait, what does this say? Like, we don't know. We can't read.
You start with the alphabet.
But I did.
She's a teenager, right? She's pretty young herself, so I guess.
Yeah. Because it seemed like it happened to her when she was still kind of school age. The change.
Definitely still in school. Maybe like 15-ish, probably.
Yeah, probably.
I can go with that. Yeah.
Out eventually.
Yeah. So in order to get her ID that proves that she's actually human back, she agrees with the madam that she will teach the kids how to read. She writes her name on the board. It's like, who can read this? And the kids are just looking like, we can't read. And so she's like, this is my name. My name is Michiru. And then she asks another kid what his name is, and she writes his name on the board. And he's like, that's my name? And she's like, yeah, try to write it. So then he tries to write it. So now everybody's excited because they'll get to learn how to write their name.
First of all, his writing is trash. But anyway.
He can't write, Mo. What are you?
Did anyone think it was weird that she just like spelled his name for him? Because like, maybe I'm just bitter about stuff, but I hate when people spell my name wrong. And like, people can spell it 1,000 ways.
But he wouldn't have known.
So, I'm not, but I was just like, how do you know that's how it's spelled?
This is how your name is spelled now. Yeah. Yeah. So also, what was interesting while all of this is happening with her, Shirou is kind of in the shadows, like standing on top of buildings and stuff. watching what's happening. And at one point, the kids ask her about the silver wolf. And she's like, what? And he's like, no, the silver wolf will come. And it's like, he always saves all of the beastmen. And she's like, that's just a stupid legend.
Why'd she say that?
Because
she got saved by him.
She doesn't want to be like, listen, this girl does not want to be this man. She wants to get cured and get out of there. Honestly, for being very honest.
Yeah. And she was just there to teach the kids so she could get proof to rub it back in to rub it back in Shirou and the kind couple that took her in, like to prove to them, no, see, I am really a human. So basically they all end up getting thrown in a cage, and that's when Michiru realizes that you don't really care about these kids. You just want to sell them. And the madam is like, I was kind of hoping that we could teach them to read and get a little more money for them before we sold them, but that shit's done. So take them away.
That shit was fucked.
It's so fucked up.
Michiru kind of, like, bossed up for a second. She kind of twerked.
She twerked her tail huge.
Yeah,
she threw her ass in a circle.
What did she about? Like, I don't even know what she was trying to do. Like, was she gonna like break it so she could drop and kill them all, or?
She twerked.
Threw her ass out of that.
She was, yeah.
She didn't know about her powers, did she? Like, she knew, like, she could do one thing.
That's it. Yeah.
So, like, her first idea was, let me twerk this out.
Yeah. I mean, when in doubt, twerk it out. What do you?
Like,
it's helped me through many a hard day. So.
Like, she was trying, and like, I respect that, but like, she didn't know what she could do. So no. I just want to know why she was like, let me throw my ass out.
Don't twerk it out.
So she expands her tail extra wide, and one of the kids in the cage with her was like, "You're a freak." She's like, "Shut up."
She calls the hands the freak because her hands stretch.
Oh yeah, that's right. So the tail doesn't work, and then she's like, "Well, maybe I can if I can just stretch a little bit farther." And then her arms do like this Stretch Armstrong shit, and she thinks she's grabbing one of the levers, but she's actually grabbing the crane operator's head, and she's like, "Just pull that lever!" And so, he's getting.
That kid is like, "You a fucking freak."
Yeah, she's like, "Shut up! Let me do this." And so yeah, basically she pulls enough levers that it messes up the crane, and the cage that they're being held in like swings back and forth and finally breaks free, and then she uses her big ass tail to she throws her ass at it again, and they land in a nice soft cushy spot. What, Mo?
Nothing. Gotta think.
And then Shirou jumps in somewhere.
That girl's rule. Yeah. So she's like, okay, cool. Like, we're free. All right, kids, leg it. And they all start running. But then they all get snatched up pretty quickly by the villains.
They're fucking kids.
Yeah. And that kind of looks like it's going to be the end of it for them. And it looks like she's about to be a goner again. And at the last minute, Shirou comes through, starts slapping bitches.
Nah, one of them.
Literally. Shirou said, "I don't give a fuck if you are a woman. I fight for justice."
That then got me so bad.
Shirou's hands are rated E, yo. Like, come on.
For everyone. Hero said these hands are available and unisex hands.
But grandma was like, you know what, man, this ain't really my fight. Maybe like 20, 30 years ago, I would have, rumble with you, but like,
He was like, I'm old and I don't want this smoke. So, and you have to respect your elders.
Should at least just Like one
I would
day.
have popped her one good one, because she deserves it.
What's her plan? She did deserve it. Oh man, that was funny.
So basically, Michiru, like, then she finds out, like, Shirou was there the whole time, and she's like, so you could have saved me at any time, and you just sat here and let me go through all this shit. And he's like, well, we needed to have evidence so that we could arrest the bad guys. And he's like, I always know. Basically, he feels like he's infallible, and that's when she drops the receipts and she pulls out her ID, and she's like, oh, word, you never make mistakes, you always know. Well, guess who was really a human a year ago?
Right.
And then she runs off crying in a boss move. And
No,
so
she's like, look at this fucking shit, I'm fucking human, and once I get the fucking cure for my disease, I'm gonna get the fuck out of this shitty ass fucking city. Bye! And then she runs off. But apparently she just runs off to where, like, he took her anyway.
Yeah, right back to his place.
Where he locks her up.
And that takes us into the next episode.
Oh no, this is the best part of the next episode, right? So the nice couple that had him, that housed him. I think he was a rooster, and so right, he's morning time, and he's going, and she wakes up, and she's asking him questions, and he points to, like, again, Big Pharma. This is like, hey, listen, and so he points her to, like, this, like, oh man, Saiga, whatever the name, farm, the pharma company. They helped us build Anima City, and they've been like a benefactor for us for a while. And while he's giving her like this nice history lesson, Shirou walks in and just grabs her, puts her in the closet, and shuts the door. And she's trying to, open the door, and then he's like, chair, table, couch, chiffon, bed. He's just
what the fuck?
Everything, dresser. And then the mayor comes in. And no. First, he's like, "You're not getting out of here. If you do try to get out,
about you,
I will kill you." Like, how do you just go from? How do you like he? See, look, Shirou doesn't have a middle. Like, he's like nice and
0 to 100
real quick, because he goes, if you try to get out, I will murder you. And then the mayor comes and asks for his help, to help, like, there's a bomb. Like, because the beginning of that episode starts off with a car bomb, like, that goes off. When she's telling him about the bomb, and he's like, yeah, probably from the anti-human faction, and anti-beastman faction, and,
anti-beastman, because they're upset because that company is putting so much money into Anima City, and they're like, if you have all this money that you could be spending, why aren't you spending it on the humans instead of what they consider to be lesser beings?
Sounds very familiar. But anyways, I know that head tilts.
I'm just saying. Somebody's writing this in real time. This like, was written.
and it's so amazing, right? Like, how everything, you're right, it just shapes up to look very eerily familiar to what, what? Let's just enjoy what the show is. And while the mayor is telling Shirou what to do and how to help, keep up. Michiru, her ear flares up, and she's like, "Oh my god, my ear!" So, like, I think she's finding out a lot about herself.
Can we?
As happening.
Did you guys notice her mouth though?
When she was yelling?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It turned into a beak.
Tanukis don't got beaks.
Right. So maybe she just has like
all the animal though.
Very weird, because why does she stretch? Why does she electrify people? Because those are the two powers we know so far, right? And of course her tail thing, which should be
yeah.
Oh,
able to stickify.
So at the beginning of the episode, Shirou was looking at her ID, and I don't know, somehow she could smell her past on the ID. But I was like, this thing is smelling the past? Sorry, smelling the past?
Not much, honestly.
What can't his nose do? But it goes back to this it goes back to this flashback of when a year ago when she was in human form, and she was trying out for a basketball team, and she made it, and so she's her friend is in the audience like cheering her on and stuff, and then you see her friend telling her like I did good on the audition, I got cast. And so she's congratulating her and her friend are like really excited, and then all of a sudden her friend turns into Beast Man. And so she's like, while she's looking at it, some folks in a van come through and snatch her friend up, and she's just standing there looking like, look at that.
Sucks to be you.
Weird. Well, I guess you can't go around passing like a beast man. But as soon as she turns around, she turns into one. So I'm wondering if there was some kind of experiment that was being conducted on those children, on
about them knowing.
Yeah, and her friend, like they knew her friend was going to turn, so they snatched her friend up, but she managed to cover up herself turning, because later on in the episode they're like, "Oh, you're the one." So like, how y'all know about her?
Her parents did know because he locked her in her room, and she, then she wrote the letter. And this is why in that same moment, in that same flashback, you shouldn't trust the brochure, because she's over there reading the website. Oh my God, Anima City, and she's looking at all the pictures and diversity.
When
it's
like college brochures.
Yeah, look at you see everybody on the lawn, like
all the brown people that you will never see.
Well, I went to an HBCU, so I did, but
mine was not. But every time I went to on-campus shit, I was like, where are they?
Where are the brown people? Yeah, the first college I went to, I was like, this. I have not seen one person sitting under a tree studying anything yet, and this is weird.
Like every college movie where you see the guys throwing football, it's like, yeah.
No, everyone is never like studying, or they're gonna fail. Right. You don't pay $30,000 to go somewhere and then fail out.
She's so enamored by the Anima City website that she's like, you know what, Dad, Mom, I'm gonna go, live, and because again, what you see on the Anima City brochure or the website is just animals or beastmen. You don't see like, oh, by the way, you would rather walk around every day in your little human form, and put that on the website.
Please wear your mask. And then she walks around without her mask on, and they're like, "What are you doing? Why are you walking around out here like that?"
But so the mayor decides, okay, Shirou, she's gonna help you. Shirou smelled the one bomb and spotted like 6, right? Oh no, I'm sorry. She's gonna help you.
He saw the pass, Bree. I'm sure he can sense bombs if he can see the path.
And is he the only one with this power? Because
like his powers are crazy. He spots 6 bombs around the city, calls the cops. Who the chief of police happens to be is it a dasher? It's a hound though.
A dachshund.
I think.
Oh, wait, a hound dog. Okay. Yeah, maybe he's a hound dog.
It's
so look like Pluto.
Like floppy ears and everything.
Basset? Was he a Basset hound?
I think it was.
That might be it. Yeah.
Oh God. Oh.
By the way, that reminds me. Do you guys notice that in the intro song, when it shows the town, there's a restaurant called Dogway?
Oh.
That was cute.
Mo is just not keeping it. Damn it! This is really pissing me off, because every time I type in something for BNA, something comes up for My Hero Academia.
Okay. So while looking for, so Shirou goes to Michiru. Hey, I'm gonna go to the to the farmers, the company, and I'm gonna go look around. And she's like, no, I'm gonna come with you. No, actually, you go with his bird. Explain to me this. How does a Beastman have a pet? I mean, I'm not trying to like
because they're not all mutated. Like, I'm sure there's still some animals, but
like, if But okay, so he's like a wolf, right? So it's fair.
He's a Great Dane? He do not look like a Great Dane.
No, he looked smack like a hound. Like, oh god, I'm crazy. Help me. Anyway,
Sorry, go on.
So
Yes.
he goes, I'll go with the cops to go check the bombs out. You go with my pet bird, and you check out the company and see what's going on, because something just is fishy. And so she goes and she gets there. She sneaks in with the truck, and when she gets in there, she sees one of the employees talking to one of the gangsters from the past episode. He's like, yeah. And then boom. And then they spot her because, again, for some reason she can't control her ears, and her ears kind of peek out the side of the truck, and they're like, "Yo, who's there?"
Don't they turn into bunny ears?
Yeah, I don't know if they're a bunny, but they definitely stretched and like
they turn into bunny ears.
And of course she runs away. She's calling Shirou. She's running. He's defusing a bomb. He's not hearing her.
His phone, his coat pocket in the back of a truck.
Dude, like, come on, man. Have pants. Like, what are you doing? And right again, always with her, right when she's about to be a goner, here comes Shirou, grabs one of them, tosses him around. So all this happens outside of the company, and no one understands what's going on. So the employee goes back to the other guy, Mr. Yaba, and he goes, "Hey, look, this girl came through. Like, who is she?" And he's like, "Yo, is that her?" And then they pull a human picture, and I was like, "Yo, crazy!" And I'm like, "Okay, so what's really going on?"
And the scientist.
Sudden, this big pharma company, you looking suspect. And while they're talking, and he's like, "Well, you said you're gonna protect me, right? Because you said you have to protect me." And she's like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "What do you mean? You said you were gonna protect all beastmen, and technically, I don't like that, because I feel like she's using her beastman feminine wiles when she feels like, right?
Feminine wiles.
Not even feminine wiles. She's just
beastman privilege.
Yeah.
Right. That they technically don't have, really, but
yeah.
Like, well, I want to get cured, and another time she's like, "Oh, well, I'm a beastman." Like, it's so weird.
Conflicting. Like,
and so like I'm starting to look at her different. And so the building blows up. They go back. They run back to the building to try to figure it out. And one of the guys is like, "Yeah, you guys better find out. We're gonna blame you." Of course, the loudest guy we're gonna blame you happens to be the guy who blows everything up. Like, come on now, don't make yourself suspicious. Like, who does that? And then Shirou tries to do his smelly thing again. And he can't.
Smelly thing.
and as soon as I saw that, I was like, I know what this is. It's a server room. And obviously they destroyed
Sorry.
They destroyed all the files because, again, when they pulled a picture, and I feel like everything is connected. Kids, her, everything is all connected. Of course, everything. But it's like Mr. Yaba goes back to his office and he's calling someone. And he goes, what did you do? He's like, yeah, we destroyed all the evidence. Well, fix it. I don't care what it costs. Why? How is a human?
Wait, did he say we destroyed all the evidence? He said he said what happened, and he was like, there was another bomb, it blew up, but all of the data is stored at another facility, so don't worry, it's safe.
For this one, but yeah, data is stored in another facility. And he's like, yeah, you need to fix it. I don't care what it costs. Something like that.
And make it so that there's no sign of this horrible event.
Right. And I'm like I'm guessing that's one of the bosses for the company.
Mm-hmm.
But why is he so? Well, I mean, I guess you would be interested if your company goes up, or if one of your server rooms go up. You want to know like what's really good.
Yeah, but they sketchy. Why they have her photo?
Right. Like,
I'm telling y'all, they put something in them kids' water or the girls' birth control pills or something.
Vaccine injury.
Mm-hmm.
5Gs. I'm
Why?
sorry. This is also anti-vax propaganda.
I wasn't prepared.
That's probably why she can't transform and she can't go back and forth because the 5G.
Them damn 5Gs. And she's got a bird following her.
Yo.
Stay woke.
Right. And so Shirou comes in to the office. He's like, I want to talk to you. And he's like, why? Like, okay, well, while I was doing my smelly thing, I found all the scents in the room, and there's no way anything that's been in there should have a scent. But this company develops chemicals. I'm like, first of all, speculation, because you don't know what's being developed in this.
He can see the past with his nose.
But he was speculating.
He knows.
If not the lawyer, like, nah, Mr. Yaba is he was very suspect. He let that get to him. Because if you get a good lawyer, you have to prove to me that this was developed in this lab.
Shirou already knew.
He had to go transform into a rhino. And I'm like, first of all, how strong? Like, we've asked this question before, but how
strong is he?
Is this dude? Because he caught the rhino's horn, and he goes, nah, I'm not going to claw you, I'm just going to punch you. And he smacked him. Like, boom. But all this is going on. I think one of the other dudes transformed into a like, nah, I'm going to take you, I'm going to run to proof. I'm going to have her up there. And she was like, follow him. And Shirou goes down with the rhino. And this is this is the part that I love for Shirou, like, because he feels like if you're going to betray your fellow beast, whatever makes you, I'm taking from you. What he did to the deer in the first episode with the antlers, he did to the rhino. He's like, yo, give me your horns. I'm gonna sell them to these Africans.
Mo, that.
I'm sorry. I can say that.
Self-hate? I don't even know what.
I didn't say that.
I'm gonna sell them to these poachers. And he smashes the horn. But seriously, how strong is this dude? And so all this is happening. Michiru's on the roof with this dude, right?
The chameleon bitch.
And he's like, I'm a dropper. I just need like 10 million yen and a helicopter. I'm like,
chopper.
You're not getting that. Like, I've seen too many movies. You're not getting anything. He's like, I'll drop her. Give me my money. And she's like, if I could stretch. This is what pissed me off about this moment, right? So she stretches and she smacks him, and he drops her.
Her fucking idea is just to smack him and not like hold on to something else or like anything. Yeah,
she wasn't
and then like as soon as she drops, she's like, "Oh, I guess I don't need my arms."
There were so many things to grab onto. And now Shirou comes in, dashes through the roof and jumps, grabs her. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna like claw the building, right? Because like
he just lets himself fucking fall.
Like he slows the fall down a bit by like aiming towards the side of the building, so they like swoosh off the side and then bounce off of something else and land on the concrete. And somehow he doesn't have any kind of internal bleeding.
Pushing the fall with her ass.
Like, I'm like, first of all, she can stretch.
The one time you should be using your ass.
Grab some, like right. Wait, no.
The cushion.
I just caught that.
She can enlarge her tail.
Yeah.
Remember, she shoves her wallet up her ass.
No, wow.
She keistered her wallet.
She kept her wallet. She has a whole jacket and pockets on her shorts, but no.
That's still the safest place for it, unless you got dishonest. I can't even finish that statement. So
they land and she's like, "Are you okay? Are you sure you don't want to go to the hospital?" And he's like, "No, I'm fine." And then he like stumbles and
nose bleeding.
Yeah, and they get back to his crib and he's like, "Well, we helped you. Well, we kind of helped each other, thank you," and all that good stuff.
The mayor says she's going to help too.
Because she's the first Beastman to have a PhD.
And all that good stuff. And then the guy calls the president or whatever. I don't know. We don't know who he is, but he calls. He's like, I'm going to Anima City 10-year anniversary. I'm like, okay.
Sure.
Okay, like
Thursday know nothing about you, so.
right. He just said it so ominous, like, okay, I guess. But that is the episode. And no, seriously, Keen, good call, because first things first is I would have thought she would have grabbed onto something because she can stretch. But when they're falling and this guy is saving your life, your tail did the thing in the last episode. Where are your tail powers now? I almost said sis. Where are your tail powers now? Like,
You know what? It's a lesson that your ass can't always save you.
I don't believe that.
You gotta. I don't either. But it could be a lesson of you can't always use your body to get what you need or to get out of things. So,
okay, I get it more because like she was falling, it was fast. Maybe she couldn't think because
She
it happened too fast and panic. But like when he was like holding her, she had like a lot of time in the fucking world to just grab onto something else and then smack his ass.
They bounced off of a lot of things where she could have been like, let me try to figure out how to cushion this.
And he's like bouncing, and I feel I saw him cough up blood a little bit.
He did.
Like, are you blind? First of all, don't cough up your blood on me. Like, seriously, let's not do that. Like, not now.
Not in these times.
Like, don't do that. But like, if you saw that and you had the power to increase your ass to like make a bubble, like, come on, like, yo, where's that? Throw that fatty up. Like, what's good? Like, like let's get that fatty going. But nah, that is the episode. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week again to double up, to give you another double helping, double scoop of BNA.
Yes.
Yes. Left cheek, right cheek. Make sure to tune in to our full episodes. Also, Warrior Nuns. And this weekend or this week, we're going to be reviewing
Nothing.
Ham boning?
Buffering. We're going to be reviewing
The Last Order?
Yes.
What's that?
No, the Old Guard.
The Old Guard. Reviewing the Old Guard. He's like, what's that? Like, no, the Old Guard. It's in the chat, but you're probably really busy. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna be doing that live. We're just gonna do a live one for that this weekend. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you tune into that. We'll catch you on the next BNA, brand new animal.
That a man got a bash. Hope we'll never link up. Blink and you will see us. Dumb Prince, love the ink up. See me in the NYC. You can never swing by me. No. Hope we'll never link up. Blink and you will see us. Dumb Prince, love the ink up. See me in the NYC. Home of the BIG. Yo, baby, stand to me. I just plan to